Our daughters play on the basketball team together, and Barry was just one of those in school that everybody loved Barry. And I know several of you who are here, you came to see Barry today. So he was a 1995 graduate of Casey County High School. That makes it more special for us to know that he's from our hometown, and just to see the success that he's having and continues to have. We're so proud of him and so excited. Barry Barrett has a mission to help business owners build and grow profitable businesses. Trained as a professional salesperson, he has a unique 17-year background in communication, leadership, team building, strategic planning, and business development, which provides the people he serves with unique advantages. With a positive attitude, incredible work ethic, and determination for excellence, his results-oriented approach presents his audience with greater vision and the encouragement to make changes and leave fear behind. His passion in life is to inspire people to live their best life. Barry holds the distinct qualification of a Ziegler Legacy Certified Trainer. He is active in his community and often speaks to groups of young people to inspire and live their dreams. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Barry Barrett.
All right, so I'm used to using a microphone like this. It's usually on my ear, but I'll bear with me. I probably don't need it anyway. You can probably hear me in the back, so I may do that in a minute just to see what you prefer. So would you prefer me do this or the microphone?
Yeah, that.
Awesome. I hate holding the microphone. So I am absolutely ecstatic about being here. It is my pleasure. When you do Google Maps, it takes you to the bank. Did you know that? If you Google here, you go to the bank. So I show up at the bank, and I told my buddy Mike, I said, I don't think this is where it's supposed to be. This is the bank, and the bank didn't exist when I was here, but I don't think this is it. So I ran in the bank, and I said, hey, where's the Chamber of Commerce meeting? And they go, and then they told me, and they said, hey, we know that you're Barry Barrett, right? And she said, you know, I told somebody that Barry Barrett was speaking at the chamber, and they said, our Barry Barrett? And I thought, man, that's nice. Our Barry Barrett. Because usually I go to a place and they're like, it's Barry Barrett. And I thought, man, how nice is it to be our Barry Barrett? And I'm yours. And it almost gets me choked up, right? It does get me choked up. I'm a crier. But being from here is one of the best things that you can imagine, I believe. And it shows me the love that people taught me here is the love I really try to take to other places. Because so many people are missing love in their life. It really is one of the missing ingredients, along with another adult four-letter word, is hope. And I'll begin by saying this. I try to tell people that I only say four-letter adult words, and like love and hope. All other four-letter words that people think are adult are really very childish four-letter words, and I'll give you that extra. And the young lady over here, she was I asked her, I said, were you in the talk? And I love that she was, and when she mentioned that, I thought, man, that's awesome, because my story is really about failure. Because I think that success is a pile of trash. Okay? And let me explain that. Is that a little bit odd that success is a pile of trash? So I believe that we fail our way to success. There's never been a successful person in the existence of the history of the world that didn't fail their way to success. And so when we fail, we create this trash pile. And the bigger that trash pile, the more that we can stand on it and the higher that we get. Does that make sense for everybody? So once you get this huge pile of trash, you can stand on it. And let me tell you, I'm looking at the view from the pile of trash, and the view is incredible. When I look out to you guys and gals, the view is incredible. Now, the ladies dress up an audience more than the guys. Sorry, fellas. So when we look at this pile of trash, now the problem is so many people, 80% of people, get stuck under the pile of trash. And we call that stinking thinking. So when we fail, a lot of people when they fail, they let the trash pile on top of them. But I'm going to tell you, if you can learn to take a failure and make it success and stand upon the pile of trash, the view is incredible. Now the trash has another job. And that's why every time you look down, because sometimes you can ask my wife, I think that I start to become somebody and I kind of sit back and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm pretty good at what I do. But then I look down in humility because I know the trash is there. Does that make sense? So the one thing that I always make sure that I do is look down at the trash. Is that good? So success is a pile of trash. And if she was at my talk, you'll know that when I graduated Casey County High School, that I graduated with a 1.56 GPA. That's appalling, right? Now the joke's on you. I'm standing up here talking to you. And that's who's your speaker. The failure that came from here. I grew up in Wilson Ridge on a 1972 single-wide trailer on government cheese and food stamps. Don't be jealous. Not everybody has that advantage. But if you don't have that advantage, the good news is there's still hope. And I went through that, my high school thinking that I was, and my grade school for that matter, thinking that I just wasn't smart. That I was quite dumb. And I thought you either had it or you didn't. And I would see people in my high school and they made these good grades and I thought, man, if I could just be smart like those people. Because either you had it or you didn't. I now know that it was more about hard work than it was intelligence. So we don't know what we don't know. And that's the beauty of life. When you surround yourself with people, you do a good job. Now, as I went through high school, I did quite well in some things, and one of them was sports. I did pretty good in basketball, but I did very well in track. So I could run really fast. That was one thing that I could hang my hat on. Now, there were some people that said, hey, you can get a college scholarship. Now, those people didn't have any idea about my grades or my home life or any of that. All they saw was the success, right? And so I went and I said, well, what do you do? How do you go to college? How do you do that? I don't know. And they said, well, you go talk to your guidance counselor. So I did, and I said, well, what do you do there? They said, well, you just make an appointment. So I go down, I make an appointment with the guidance counselor, and then the day comes. And I remember it like it was yesterday. I'm in English class on the second floor of Casey County High School in Miss Rubert's class. You guys know Miss Rubert's? Awesome. She is awesome. And so I get over the intercom. I say, hey, send Barry to the guidance counselor. So I walk out, and it was really odd because I had skipped class a few times with the hall pass they give you, and go down to the gym and play basketball. But this time was different. It just seemed like there was no one else in the school but me, and I'm walking down this empty hallway, and I can hear my footsteps, tap, 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 right, echoing. And I get to the guidance counselor's office, and I knock on the door. And all of a sudden, my heart just starts pounding really fast and really hard. And it just seems like, anybody know the telltale heart, right? It seemed like I was out of my body, and I could hear my heart pounding. I knock on the door, and I hear someone say, come in. So I'm like, this is the moment that I find out what my future holds. And I open the door, and I see this gentleman. And I was surprised by what I saw. It was a gentleman, he was a little bit overweight. He had a button-up shirt, but it was a little bit tucked out and kind of messed up hair, and looked over his glasses at me, and he said, have a seat. So I sat down. I said, okay, this is the guy going to tell me, kind of odd, right? He's going to tell me what I was going to be. So I sat down. He says, tell me why you come in here. And I said, well, a lot of people think that I can get a college scholarship and go to college. So he sits down, and he opens his drawer, and he pulls out a file. Now, if you thought my heart was beating fast and loud before, I knew what he was going to see. So he looks at